Friends, we have been discussing animal kingdom. So today we will discuss Porifera phylum. Porifera. So Porifera, it is composed of two words, porous. What does porous means? It means pore. And the second was fere. That means beer. So Porifera means pore bearing animals. So it is the first and most primitive. It is the first and most primitive group of multicellular organisms. And they are referred to poriferans, that is pore bearing organisms. They are primitive multicellular organisms and they are commonly referred to as sponges. So these are the first most primitive multicellular organisms bearing pores, and therefore they are known as poriferans. Commonly they are known as sponges. So where do they live? They are mostly marine, but they also live in fresh water too. They are mostly asymmetrical, and they are diploblastic too. And what level of organization they have? They have cellular level of organization. Digestion, that is intracellular. That is, it takes inside collar cells. Skeletons, made up of spicles or spongin fibers. Canal system is the most important feature of poriferans. Water enters into the body of sponges through minute pores named as ostia. Water enters into the body of sponges through minute pores named ostia, and then it goes into the central cavity. What is the name of the central cavity? Spongocell. It's known as spongocell. And then it goes out by the terminal opening. What is the name of the terminal opening? It's osculum. So it has a well-developed canal system. That is the important feature of sponges. Water enters into the body of sponges through minute pores named as ostia. Then it moves into the central cavity, which is known as spongocell. From a spongocell, it moves out through a terminal opening, outside through a terminal opening known as osculum. And the spongocell and the canals, they are lined by collar cells or coencytes. It is also known as collar cells. So coencytes or collar cells, these are the things which line a spongocell as well as the canals. Now sponges are hermaphrodites. What does it mean? That both the sexes are in the same individual, and they produce sexually as well as sexually. They produce sexually by fragmentation, sexually by fusion of gametes. Fertilization, fertilization is internal, and the development is indirect. That means the larval stage is also involved. And the examples are cycon. Cycon is known as crown sponge. Euspongia, bath sponge. Spongilla, freshwater sponge. Cycon, crown sponge. Euspongia, bath sponge. Spongilla, freshwater sponge. Let's make a figure here. They have a well developed canal system, and this is the example of cycon. Let's move to another one, phylum Coelenterata or Cnidaria. So there are about 9,000 species of cnidarians, and the name Cnidaria has been derived from nid, that is known as nettle or stinging cells, cells which sting. So the name Cnidaria, nid means nettle or stinging cells, and coelentrates bear cnidoblasts, which are stinging cells, and they are present on the ectoderm or they are present on the ectoderm and on the tentacles of the body. So these bear cnidoblasts, it's bear, and it is found on the endoderm or on the tentacles of the body. And these cnidoblasts, they are used for anchorage to fix and for defense and capture of prey. So cnidoblasts are needed for anchorage, defense and capture of prey. Where do they live? They are mainly marine, and they may be sessile or free living. Level of organization, tissue level of organization. They have tissue level of organization. Symmetry, they are radially symmetrical. And they are diploblastic. They have tissue level of organization, they are radially symmetrical, and they are diploblastic. And they have a central gastrovascular cavity. With a single opening. They have a single opening mouth or histome. You can say histome also, mouth or histome. So they have a central gastrovascular cavity with a singular opening mouth or histome, and mouth is used or histome is used for ingestion as well as egestion. Mouth is used, single opening, so they have mouth is used for ingestion as well as egestion. Some of the cnidarians, their skeleton system, their skeletons are made up of calcium carbonate. The skeletons of some of the cnidarians are made up of calcium carbonate. Cnidarians are mainly of two types: polyp, they are cup-shaped, and medusa, umbrella-shaped. Cup-shaped and umbrella-shaped. Polyp is sessile. It has cylindrical structure. It has cylindrical structure with mouth and tentacles face upwards. And examples are hydra and Adamsia. So what happens in polyps? These are sessile. They have cylindrical structure with mouth and their tentacles face upwards. It doesn't go outwards, it faces upwards. Medusa is free swimming. Medusa is free swimming. Umbrella shaped. It is umbrella shaped with mouth, but the tentacles face upwards and downwards. Tentacles face downwards. Free swimming with mouth, tentacles they are falling on the fish downwards. Tentacles they face outwards. And the example is Aurelia jellyfish. For example of Medusa. Let's draw a figure. So that's the example of Medusa. So those cnidarians which show both the forms, polyp as well as Medusa. So they exhibit alternation of generations. What is the alternation of generation? When an organism, that means Cnidaria, shows both forms, polyp as well as Medusa, here it is known as alternation of generation, and this process is known as metagenesis. Metagenesis. Process is known as metagenesis. What happens in alternation of generation? Polyps, they produce Medusa. That's asexually. Polyps produce Medusa asexually, but Medusa they produce polyps how? Sexually. They produce polyps sexually, but polyps produce Medusa asexually and Medusa produce polyps sexually. The first one is asexually and for the second one is done sexually. Fertilization, reproduction, both sexual as well as asexual methods are involved. Fertilization, internal as well as external. An example, Physalia. What is Physalia also known as? It is known as Portuguese man of war. Portuguese man of war. These have stinging cells and they are always ready to go on Mars. So particular that name may have come from that, Physalia, and the name, other important one is Adamsia, sea animal. Adamsia, sea animal. So let us move to the third one, phylum Ctenophora. So phylum Ctenophora, about 50 species are known of Ctenophora. They are commonly known as sea walnuts or comb jellies. They are commonly known as sea walnuts or comb jellies. They are exclusively marine. They live in sea, and they are radially symmetrical. Diploblastic, and they have tissue level of organization. Radially symmetrical, diploblastic, and they have tissue level of organization. Their body bears eight external rows. What are those? 8 external rows of ciliated comb plates in this manner. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and let's draw this one 8. So there the body is composed of 8 external rows of ciliated comb plates, and these help in locomotion. Digestion, both extracellular and intracellular. There is a special characteristic associated with them: bioluminescence. What is bioluminescence? It is the property of a living organism. To emit light. It is the property of an organism to emit light, and Ctenophora is specialized in it, and it is well marked in Ctenophora. Here sexes are not separate, that means they are hermaphrodites. Reproduction here takes by only sexual means. It doesn't take by sexual means, it takes only by sexual means. Fertilization, it's external. Fertilization here is external with indirect development. And the example are pleurobrachia, and Ctenoplana. Pleurobrachia, and the second one is Ctenoplana. This is the figure of pleurobrachia. So we have dealt with Ctenophora. So today we have gone through the phylum Porifera, Coelenterata or Cnidaria, and the third one was Ctenophora. We will continue with all the other things in the next video. Till then, keep enjoying and studying biology, and do subscribe my channel if you haven't done so, and like and share my videos.